Well, let me tell you something. Folks, my boy was showing me these workout videos the other day, and he was pointing out all the gosh darn mistakes folks were making. He says, "Dad, you get hurt at 50 or 60, it's a real crippler. You just don't bounce back like you used to." Now, people give me a hard time because I got what I call my iron graveyard. A few exercises that ought to stay buried 6 feet under. One of them, for me, is the upright row pure jump. Most folks think they're building themselves up for the long haul, but they're just courting injury. Here's the plain truth about getting older. Like Mike Boyle says, look at my son and his buddies. They tweak something and 2 days later they're good as new. Me? I'd be laid up for 6 months if I pulled half the stunts they do. That's just how it is. A young fella in his 20s shakes off shoulder trouble in a few days. At 60, it might take months or years. And Lord help you at 70 or 80. One dumb move in the gym and poof, there goes your independence. I'm gonna lay out 3 exercises that look perfectly fine, that most everybody does, but they're quietly stealing your golden years. Better yet, lines tell you exactly what to do instead, cause there are safer ways to get the same bang for your buck. First one, the upright row. You see it everywhere. Them CrossFit places, the big chain gyms, all over the internet. Looks like a real powerhouse move, it ain't. It's a shoulder wreck waiting to happen. Here's why. When you do a regular upright row, your elbows shoot way up high, hands stay close together, and your shoulders twist inward. No one else puts your shoulder in that exact spot. The test them physical therapists use to check for impingement. Jeff Cavalieri, he's a therapist himself, spells it out plain as day. You grab that bar, lift it right up under your chin, elbows sky high above your wrists. That's the very position we put folks in to see if their shoulder's pinched. Think about that, you're choosing to put your shoulder right where it hurts, on purpose. Now picture doing that over and over, with weight, 10,000 times through the years. At 50, you might not feel a thing. At 60, things start getting tight. By 70, you can't reach up high without wincing. At 80, brushing your hair is a chore. This don't happen all at once. It's the slow grind on tendons that were never meant to take that kind of abuse. Worst part, you don't even need the darn thing. Do a high pull instead. Hits the same muscles, traps, delts, shoulders, but your elbows stay below your wrists, and your shoulders turn outward instead of in. Same strength, same growth, none of the risk. Why in tarnation would you pick the dangerous one? Second exercise, bench flies, unsupported. Now, I get it. They feel wonderful. That big stretch across your chest, addictive. Makes you think you're packing on muscle. Maybe you are. But you're also tearing up your shoulders. Laying on that bench, dropping dumbbells out to the sides, you re-stretching your shoulder to the limit under load. For a 25-year-old with tough, springy tissue, that's okay. But past 60, that front shoulder capsule, the stuff holding your joint together, it gets brittle with age. Keep stretching it like that, year after year, and it wears out. Then comes the wobble, the ache, the swelling, sometimes even the surgeon. Jeff Cavalieri talks about this straight. He put unsupported bench flies in the graveyard because of working with pitchers. He knows how easy it is to overstretch that capsule, then load it up at the same time. And don't forget, Arnold Schwarzenegger himself tore a pec doing this move. The man had the best genes, the best doctors, the best everything. Still got hurt. If it can happen to him, what makes you think your 65-year-old shoulder's bulletproof? Here's what you do instead, floor flies. Same motion, same chest work, same stretch, but the floor stops you from going too far. Can't overdo it. Plus, you can handle heavier weight because the floor helps on the way down. More muscle, less danger. Or use the machine fly, or just do dumbbell presses. Same results, no risk to that front capsule. Simple rule, if I can get the same good with less chance of hurt, why take the chance? Third one, Cuban presses. This one's a real doozy. Combines twisting inward with pressing overhead. A shoulder doctor's nightmare and a sure way to shorten your active years. What does it give you that a regular overhead press don't? Nothing worth talking about. Maybe a fancy angle, a little something different. What does it take? Your joint's future. The shoulder's already the loosest, trickiest joint you've got. At age and all that wiggle room turns into a liability. You need stability now, not some clever new press. Folks do Cuban presses cause it looks impressive, like something a pro athlete would do. But here's the thing most miss. Them elite athletes can get away with moves that ruin a regular person. Their bodies compensate like magic. Mike and I used to say, the better the athlete, the better the compensator. We'd watch these guys and think, Lord, what they get away with. You ain't them. Your 65-year-old shoulder can't cover for bad form like that. Big mistake. Copying pros without realizing they succeed in spite of their crazy training, not because of it. They're gifted at fixing their own mistakes on the fly. You and me, not so much. At 70 or 80, you don't need Cuban presses. You need shoulders that move smooth and painless. A plain overhead press with dumbbells gives you that. Same strength, same muscle, no weird twisting that builds up into years of hurt. All three of these upright rows, bench flies, Cuban presses, they got one thing in common: slow, quiet damage. No big pop or dramatic fall, just wear and tear that adds up. At 50, you're fine. At 60, things tighten. At 70, you're limited. At 80, simple things hurt. Most folks miss this. What you do at 45 decides how you live at 75. Not one big oops, but thousands of reps in bad positions. The hurt's invisible till it's too late. 10,000 twists equal inflammation. 20 years of flies equal a worn-out capsule. By 70, you're paying with pain and stiff joints. Jeff Cavalieri says it best, this is a long game. Step back, stick with moves that don't hurt, and give yourself a fighting chance to stay active and heal. The rule's easy: any move that grinds on your joints, especially shoulders, compare it to a safer choice. If the safer one works just as good, pick that. After 50, training ain't about looking good in the mirror or lifting the heaviest. It's about keeping your freedom, playing with the grandkids without wincing, reaching the top shelf, tossing a ball, moving easy. Your body don't heal like it used to. The stakes are higher. Recovery slower. One bad shoulder injury at 75 could sideline you for years. A 75-year-old who moves free and painless? That's a different life than one hurting all the time. That difference ain't luck or genes. It's the choices you make now, choosing joint health over showing off. Your future self will either thank you or cuss you out, depending on what you do today. Upright rows, bench flies, Cuban presses, they ain't building you for the long life. They're roadblocks. Swap them for the safer moves I told you about. Your shoulders at 80 will thank you kindly.